Hey Queens. I am Desmond Booker. I am a Christian dating and relationship coach. We are live on Instagram. We are live now on Facebook. And for you that are watching us on YouTube, YouTube at this time is just the replay, but you're still watching Monday Night Live. If you are on YouTube, please go ahead and hit like and go ahead and subscribe and also comment if you find this uh, helpful. Also on YouTube, welcome for you that are on YouTube, you that are on Facebook, and also IG. I am Desmond Booker. I am a Christian dating and relationship coach, helping single queens go from single to successfully dating. It's time for you to begin to see 2024 be that time, be that year that you begin to do that. And I'm excited. Let's get into this tonight. As you know, we come on Monday Night Live, 7:30 every single Monday. We do Monday Night Live. Now tonight I want to talk about something that I think that's keeping a lot of singles, quote unquote, single, and that is fear. Fear. And I want you to really think about this tonight as we get started. What fear do you have? What fear do you have? Do you have fear? Do you have fear? Well, I may have fear. What? But what fears do you have? And we want to start right there, because I believe that if you're going to be able to go from single to successfully dating, you're going to have to conquer that fear. Now, in conquering that fear, one of the things that as you're beginning to identify, all right, identify the fear that you have. What fear do you have? And I see you guys coming on. Thank you, Queens, for joining me. Thank you, Queens, for joining me tonight. So let's talk about this. What fears do you have? Now, we're going to talk about a few fears that I believe that many queens face, like the fear of what? Of being single. I fear being single. So if I have a fear of being single, then that automatically means what? That I'm going to move into a relationship. Well, no, not necessarily. Because think about it. If you are fearing to be single, whatever you're afraid of, aren't you going to gravitate towards that? Aren't you going to move towards that? No, our fear of single is going to keep you single, because you may perhaps date the wrong people. You may perhaps not even allow yourself, not even allow yourself to even put yourself out there. I'm afraid of being single, right? So so it's just like a negative vibe, a negative energy when you're fearing to be single. And this is where you have to be what? To combat that is be content. I'm happy being single. Whether I'm not with somebody or whether I am with somebody, I am okay. Okay? So one of the things with that is that you're going to have to begin to be okay with what being single. Okay? And so fear of being single keeps you single, because it gives off that negative, and men can begin to pick up on that, right? That neediness. And you don't want to be needy. You don't want to feel like they have to be into your life, or you have to be with someone. And you can right now think about somebody, if it's not yourself, or somebody wanting to be with somebody. They have to be with them. I can't believe every time I see her, she has to be with. She's dating somebody right now that's not even her type, but she just has to be with a man. Have you ever heard that? That's that fear of being single, fear of being alone. Okay? So that leads me into the next fear, and that's the fear of abandonment. The fear of abandonment, which simply is you're afraid of being in a relationship because they're going to leave you. They're going to ghost you. They're not going to commit to you. Okay? The fear of abandonment. Now, a fear of abandonment and many of these fears I'm talking about stem from your past, stem from your childhood, stem from other relationships. And so when you have the fear of abandonment, then guess what? I don't want to put myself in a position to be liked. I don't want to put myself where somebody I get to know somebody. Why? Because they're going to leave me anyway. And I'm tired of going through this, right? I'm tired of going through the cycle, which leads me to the next thing, fear of being hurt, right? Fear of abandonment, fear of being left alone, fear of what? Of being alone, fear of being single, and then fear of abandonment, then fear of being hurt. Fear of being hurt. I don't want to be hurt. So it's funny because I want to be in a relationship. I desire to be in a relationship. If he finds me, that's great. But then I have a fear of being hurt. Fear of being hurt, you got to begin to hone in on that. Because why? It's definitely something that's underlining in this. There's underlining factors in all these, but especially the fear of being hurt. Because why? Because if you're afraid to be hurt, how are you going to open yourself to anybody? How are you going to allow anybody to get close to you? How are you going to think that you're going to be in a great relationship? Because you have this fear of being hurt. I knew that they were going to do that, right? You begin to set up wrong expectations. You look for the wrong in them. It's the fear of being hurt. So I'm going to protect myself, okay? And then let's talk about the fear. Let me see. And then we have the fear of failure. The fear of failure. I'm afraid that when I get into this relationship, it's going to end up. So in fear of failure, success, right? Fear of success. So on one fear of failure is that you're worried that this next marriage, this next relationship is not going to be, it's not going to amount to the success that you want in it, right? You hear your friends are telling you, family members are telling you, I knew that when you start dating, it wasn't going to lead to marriage. I knew that they were going to eventually leave you. You see that? And so you have this fear of failure. I want to be in a relationship, but what if it don't work? See, that's the hard part. What if it don't work? No, you don't need to be thinking, what if it doesn't work? You should be thinking, why shouldn't it work? That's the more question that you should be asking yourself. Why am I not in a great relationship? Not why is it not going to work? I'm a great catch. I'm going to attract the right person. I'm working on myself. Not why is it not going to work? Okay? So that's the fear of what? Of failure. Again, fear of success. So isn't that strange? If you mean to tell me that I can have the fear of success and that keeps me, you know why? Because what if it does work out? What if you do meet a person that you really love and they love you back? What is a healthy relationship? Oh, that sounds wonderful. You would be amazed at how many people begin to have a great relationship with the great man that they've been praying for and don't know how to receive him, don't know how to respond to him, don't know how to love him. Okay? The fear of success. I want to, again, open my heart to them. I want to allow us to be one. And man, I got a good one this time. But then you find fault with him. And the reason why you find fault with him is because why? You're afraid of being hurt. You're afraid of abandonment. You're afraid of success, right? You're afraid that it's going to lead to failure. All of this plays into each other. You see how all these feed into each other? And you got to begin to really find out, what fear do I have? Or what fears do I have? And then why do I feel this way? Okay, Queens, if this is helping you, comment below. Go ahead and comment below if this is helping you. What fear have I just identified that it helped you? Okay, so we talked about what? The fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of abandonment, the fear of being single, being alone, right? And then we talked about the fear of rejection, the fear of rejection. Oh my, that's the last one tonight we're going to talk about. The fear of rejection. What if I start to like somebody and they don't like me back? What if I put myself out there and they reject me? Again, stems from childhood. I'm afraid that somebody's going to hurt me. Okay? I see you guys jumping on. So tonight we're talking about the fear of. You know how many queens right now are telling me they want to be in a relationship? Or 2024 is my time, is my year. But you got fear. Honestly, you got to conquer the fear, because the fear is what's keeping you from moving forward, even though you want to move forward. And you got to begin to think about this. If he was to show up in my life, I'll be ready. If he was to show up in my life, I'll do this. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Because why? Because if he was going to show up in your life, he will be showing up right now. The type of person that you are is causing him to come in your life or not. And these fears that I talked about tonight, and I talked about some fears. What fear do you have? What fears do you have? Whatever they are, you got to conquer them so that you can then what? Move into a relationship. You know, honestly, right now, the fear of everything is going right in my life. The fear of, and so what, because everything is going right, I'm afraid get in a relationship because it's gonna take away from my relationship. It's gonna cause the success. It's gonna cause my life. You know, I'm gonna have to change my schedule. Okay, so what is this? That's the fear of change. The fear of change. Everything is going right, but once this person comes in my life, I'm gonna have to change. I'm gonna have to step out of my comfort zone. I'm gonna have to allow and make time for him and allow him into my life. The fear of change. The fear of change. I have reached out to people. I have begun to know people, and they really honestly didn't want to change. They desired a great man. They desired to be with somebody, but the fear of change caused them not to be in a relationship, not to move forward, not to get to know somebody. Okay? So tonight has been a great night. I thank y'all for joining me. Again, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and start to begin to follow me on Instagram, on our Facebook, Queens Don't Settle, Single to Dating. I thank y'all for joining me tonight. And if you have just jumped on tonight, and go ahead and watch the replay. All right. I was talking tonight about what fear or fears are keeping you single. I'm telling you, it's time to conquer the fear so that you can move into the relationship. And the reason why you have fear is because you got to conquer it by being healed. By being healed. It's simply just the way that you think. Okay? And when you stop thinking that way, you'll see the fear be gone out of your life. All right? Thank y'all for joining me. Remember, every Monday night, we come here real quickly. I give you some things. We talk about some things. I have people who are in interview because I want to help you go from single to successfully dating. You have a great night. Remember, queens don't settle, especially not letting fear take over. Have a great night.